Good afternoon. I thought the network was messing up, and so finally it's working.
Yeah.
Happy. Good afternoon. It's so nice to have you here. I'm sure I think this is going to be the Eat episode. I think it's going to be the Eat episode because a lot of people inquired about it, given the fact that what we're discussing today is very important and the Global Student Prize is closing by the end of the week. So this is rush hour. So okay, I think all right, we have more people joining. Awesome. Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Oluwadamilola Akintewe, and I am the host of the Student Voice series, which is a platform to amplify young people, specifically students, who are leading change, who are creating innovations in their community, who are starting conversation around global issues, and who are inspiring their peers to join in the same movement. And I have had the honor to have guests on the show who are people across the world leading change, and today we have one of such person here. Jeremiah, it is such an honor to have you. Please just say a quick hello and introduce yourself.
Oh, hope you all are doing well and great. Nice to be here with you all. I've seen a handful of familiar faces who are watching us, and I really look forward to see how this conversation goes.
Me too. I'm actually very excited because today we are talking around something that is important, which is the Global Student Prize. This time last year, you and I, in our different corners of the world, were submitting something. We were doing something, writing a lot of things, which is the Global Student Prize, and it was the inaugural circle, which you won. Congratulations! I've said that too many times, but today we're talking about why students should apply for the Global Student Prize. What does it even mean? Or what is the essence? Why should you? Because it takes a lot of input. The application part, the documentation part. It's a lot of work. So why should a student even bother? So I want to get a first-hand perspective from you as an ambassador of the Global Student Prize and a past winner. Tell us, Jeremiah, how has the prize, what does it mean to you winning it as the first person ever in the history of, the first winner, the inaugural winner? What does it mean? What does that signify for you?
I think so.
I can hear you.
First of all, the most important thing is the fact that the world is currently toward acknowledging the fact that we do have like a lot of students who are contributing towards society and global development within their different spaces. You have students carrying out groundbreaking research. You have others carrying out projects, etc. Like all over the place, you have young people contributing, right? And it cannot be more timely than now that at some point the world we took a break during the pandemic, everything was shut down, and students are also more or less like one of the most impacted communities, based on
of course
that COVID-19 brings, towards our lives and all of that. So that's the most important thing, the world acknowledging what we're doing in our different corners. And then secondly, personally, it has been amazing, like winning the prize. But then for me, the most important factor in winning the prize is not the prize itself. It is the amazing people that I got to meet. You and I know how crazy the community is. We have and also the things that we're currently trying to build. You have people from Kenya, Brazil, you have people in the US, like it's a combo of amazing people, and that is more important than proclaim the way, because each and every person was equally was equally on par to win the awards. Like you and I know, like me, you and I, we used to speak a lot because you, Apan, Melissa, we used to speak a lot because we were like the only Africans in the top 10, kind of. So we know like everybody was equally qualified to win. So, but then, yes, putting the winning aside, meeting people like you know, you have also the crazy ones in the community, you know, that so that's the most important thing. And any other thing that comes on the sides have been amazing. So after the awards, I got a PhD scholarship for my school, but then I'm not taking it up. But I also got in. I actually got more funding. I actually got more funding. So I also got like so initially I was working with some universities, you know, some universities were doing some different things for me. Then after the awards, everything like was fast tracked because like
Of course.
but like fast topic. So it has been amazing meeting a lot of people, having a lot of engagement. I think it has been heartwarming. Yeah.
Thank you. And I also know that you are speaking at an energy conference soon in Rwanda, I'm guessing, in which you will be, having panel discussions with lots of, leading people in the energy field, because that is where you work, energy, climate justice, sustainability, green energy, to my, understanding. So that's, I've been there as a young person, being there like as a voice of students who, like you said, are leading change must be so amazing. I mean, you get to people that on a normal day you might not have, been able to run into, let's say, at Walmart, opportunities that will probably not come on a normal day. And I think this is just how important the Global Student Prize is. Like you said, for the first time, the world is acknowledging students, acknowledging the fact that we have young people who are, not waiting to be handed opportunities, who are creating opportunities by, solving problems in their society and also changing the world from their immediate community, which is very important. Because I believe in the saying that charity begins from home. So for the question that a lot of people are waiting for, in the process of applying, like, did you ever thought you were going to win? I mean, what made you apply? Because this year the criteria is a bit extended than it was last year. Last year criteria was quite stricter than it is this year. And I remember when I saw the application, somebody sent it to me. Somebody sent it to me and said, Blessing Akpan sent it to me. She's one of the 3 Nigerians with me that made the original top 50. She told me this criteria fits into you. And I had like 10, 12 hours to the deadline. So I went on a crazy spree. Normally, if I had seen the application by myself, at that, it was almost at the stroke of midnight, like the figurative midnight, I probably wouldn't have applied because it takes a lot of work. It invites you to do a lot of introspection about what you do, how you are impacting your community. You know all this. And it's a lot of writing. You have to get recommendations and all that. So if somebody hadn't sent the application to me with a word of, faith that I believe this is somebody that sounds like, I probably wouldn't have applied. But your story is different. You probably saw the application way earlier, seeing that let me say, strict criteria. A lot of young people that I have met that I sent the application to, they look at me and say, oh my God, this is huge. I'm not the kind of person they're looking for. There is no way they would select me. I mean, I thought same last year and I made top 10. So what was going through your mind when you applied? Did you feel, yes, I can do this? Or did you just decide to take that leap of faith?
Okay, I'm going to shock you. So this was what happened, right? I got a message on my Instagram. If you notice, like, I don't normally use Instagram. I got this message
I know.
in Instagram. And I'm like, okay, interesting. but then I never paid attention, right? Then my capstone supervisor for undergrad, right? Um, like he sent me a message like, "Oh, Jeremiah, I saw this thing. It's so amazing. What do you think about it?" But then I was so much under pressure during that time. Like I had just graduated and I was trying to finalize which school I'm going to join for masters and stuff. So I was like, "Oh, it looked interesting," but then, professor, like this is too tough. So let's just forget about it. It's like, okay, no problem. Not knowing that he had, you know, you can nominate, someone can nominate you. He said me. Then they contacted me. I'm like, like, so professor, you did this, is right? Then now, you know, me and I know the application is tough, but it gets tougher now when you made the final 50. You know, all those calls, all those it's too much. So it was like, for me, I was even discouraged when I saw it. But then, if not for my capstone supervisor, like I would have never got in the first place. So it's because like he pushed me, right? For him, he took up the venture to let me nominate. So when he nominated me, they contacted me. So I have to just do some few write-up and
apply.
Yeah. So yeah, because I was scared of disappointing him that, oh, he has invested some time to nominate me and I don't put in enough effort. So yeah, just like you were saying, at times you just need someone to push you a bit, to give you that tap on the back. Then yeah, so for me that was how it was. Initially I was even discouraged to even look at it the second time.
And I think having this conversation is very important because there is this, should I say, fallacious knowledge or mindset that you need to have done something big, like something massive, for you to qualify for something as grand or as prestigious as the Global Student Prize. But I don't believe so. I think, judging from last year that we were part of, the top 50, when the top 50 was announced, and I went through the profile of other people who made top 50, which was so beautiful because everywhere was represented, from Africa to Europe to Asia, we had everybody in there. And I saw profiles, and sincerely, I looked at those profiles and I was like, oh, okay. I when it came out, I was in my fourth year, the fourth year of undergrad, and we had people who were out, like running their PhD programs. It felt intimidating, and sincerely, I told myself, "Oh my God, okay, top 50, you've done well. Clap for yourself and go home." The day I heard that I made top 10, like top 10, I was misbehaving everywhere, and I'm sure.
It did that informed me top 10, you remember?
Yeah, they did on a phone call, and it was recorded because I didn't see it coming at all, at all. And I think it just reinforces the fact that it is not about how much big things you've done as a student. It's about your story and how important your story is. I believe that stories have so much power. They can influence, and this, I'm actually saying this for every person who have, who feel like they should apply, but imposter syndrome, self-doubt, a little bit of, a lot of things are telling you you don't belong in here. I don't want you to think that. I think you should shoot for the moon. At least you land among the stars. So that was it for me. I applied, and the rest, they say, is history. And the most important piece of the information is that the 2022 circle is closing this Sunday, April 17th, and that's less than 4 days to go. So keep that in mind why I asked the next question. So a lot of people have been coming to me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, even on Twitter, asking for tips. Some weeks ago, Just Nakman organized like a Q&A session, which we were part of as well, for prospective applicants. But I still feel like, the last minute stroke of good luck could go a long way. So for people who are putting final touches to their application, this is going to be very competitive. During our set, they had like 3,500 nominations from 94 countries, and I have no doubt the number will double this year, if not triple. Because the popularity in Nigeria, when I was the only Nigerian in the top 10, my name and face were everywhere. Like, it was crazy. So the kind of attention that pulls, oh, let's get out. The kind of attention that pulls means that this year there will be so many applications and lots of people want to stand out. So my next question to you is, what are the tips? What tips would you like to give to anybody watching this, anybody who will eventually watch this video? Good tips on sending a strong application for the 2022 Global Student Prize.
The most important thing is be honest and original to yourself, right? Take the way it is. Like, there is no need to, oh, I need to dilute this. I need to, you get, right? Put it out there.
I do.
Don't try to reconfigure who you are for you to look cool, as in, oh, okay, right? There are times that you may still be struggling, but then you have so much potential. But then, even though like you've not reached that peak, right? That is your own journey. You still a journey. All of us, we are still in a journey. So after the application, I had some people saying, "Oh, Jeremiah, I've gone through this, but then things are not working out." I'm like, yes, of course, right? We're hoping for things out at some point. What if the Global Student Prize is that breakthrough, right? What if that's the platform that you just need, as my Nigerian friends will say, blow, right? So, like, go out there, be original to yourself, and put things out there as they are. And secondly, don't be shy to talk about the small things. The small things are so important. There are times when you may have, for you may think, oh, this is not that significant, but then you don't know how many people that you've touched, right? You don't know how many people that you've impacted. At some point, after now, you guys will have top 50. They'll want to get in touch with these people, right? That is, you will know how big it is. Let's say, for example, you distributed, let's say, a handful of pads in your community and stuff. Of course, anybody can do that, right? But then, for you just did it because you noticed kids needed it, right? But then for those kids, whenever like they hear your name, they are always connected to what you did for them, right? So like they'll want to get in touch with some of those people. Then that's when you really know like what you have done. Yes, it's small, but then the significance and the fact that you even thought about doing it, it's very important. So put out all those tiny things, right? Nothing is insignificant, too over big, right? So be original to yourself and just put it out there, pour out your mind. They want to go out, like, I don't know how to say it, but then those who do medicine will understand better, like you going through the heart, like understanding what is inside, or those who did psychology. English came on both, guys. Right? So just pour it out. Like let them see you, right? Let them feel like you are here with them, right? Let them feel like you are speaking, right? Speak to them. It's very, very much,
important. Thank you so much. So, point one, be yourself, be your authentic self. Don't try to create an identity that is not yours, because the application process would take a lot of filtering, and if you are not yourself, you fall behind the line. And I believe this is a very, very vital tip to keep in mind, because it is going to be very competitive. That is the truth, and there could be a bit of intention to want to present yourself in a good light, honesty. So the truth is, one of the questions in the application is to quantitate your impact. Can you quantitate your impact? Can you still hear me, Jeremiah?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, one of the questions, because I checked out the question, is how can you quantitate your impact? Can you like give us numbers? How many people, how many places, how many hours? If you did 500 hours of volunteering work, put it there. Don't say 750, because it will come back to, it will come back and it will show, and it will be obvious that you lied. And one small lie will tarnish your image as a leader, because that is not what we preach. I remember before the top 10, I had a call with some of the communication, and we went through everything I wrote in my application. It was like almost an hour call. It was a rapid fire. Everything.
They ask you to to get in touch with the communities. Like, were you not?
Of course.
That was the most difficult one, though. Like, them requesting to get in touch with people. Like, imagine you have some of them and explain what you're up to. They have to get in touch with people to verify the document. Like, it was tough. Yeah, sorry.
It was. Imagine if the person, an applicant, had lied or made up numbers, and the numbers were no longer adding up. That's just disastrous, and it portrays it in a bad light. So if you impacted 10 people, write it there and be sincere with the stories of the 10 people, and you will see that eventually it is not about the number, it is about the weight of the impact. As a person, whatever it is you do, it is about, like you said, maybe you helped some kids. To you, it is just helping some kids. But to the kids, you've given them a chance at a new life, an opportunity, a skill, something that they can fall back on, something that can help them make better decisions to their lives. And to you, it is just a simple help, but it went a long way. So whatever it is you do, make sure you stay true to yourself. And I love that the Global Student Prize application deliberately puts you out there as a person. The question cuts across every phase of life. They ask about your personal life, they ask about your academic life, they ask about your social impact. So it's like they want to know you. So present yourself, talk to them, speak to them, like Jeremiah said. And finally, I think we're getting towards the end of this live session because of time and other things to do. So my final question, Jeremiah, what share the final thoughts or opinions you want to give generally as they check the whole Global Student Prize, and to every young person who, because the truth is you are an inspiration to so many people right now. A lot of people want, they probably think you're in Nigeria. I'm like, he is not in Nigeria. I'm sorry, but Jeremiah is in the UK. He's not in Nigeria. That's how far you can go. So you are an inspiration to a lot of people. They look up to you. They're inspired by your story. They feel seen and they feel heard by you. And that is just the beauty of the entire process. So for your work, not just the award, like you said, the platform for young people to start, for people who were not even volunteering to want to volunteer, because this person somewhere is doing it and they're helping others while helping themselves. That's the beauty. So what final thoughts, what final word would you like to give to anybody who is trying to, figure out themselves, who is trying to find their footing, who feel a bit, out of place, who feel like they will never fit in a great, who feels like greatness is so beyond them. So what would you like to say to that person, and before we close this particular episode?
I think each and every person do have a kind of superb greatness in them. We are all very, very great until somebody realizes it, right? You may not realize how great you are until somebody else like, oh, wow, right? Then you get a sense everybody is great. All of us have overcome one thing or the other. All of us have done one thing or the other. But then we'll never realize how important we are in society until somebody acknowledges, right? So as students, right, don't be intimidated by profiles, right? your own profile is very great. It only takes one person to read it and like, wow, this is amazing, right? So shoot for it. You can fit into whatever space you shoot for, right? No space is too big for you, right? No space again is too small if that's where you want to settle. But then as students, let us be shooting for like those big spaces, right? It's fine. At times we'll not get acknowledge that, but the fact that you took up the step, right? Knowing that I belong here, that is where you belong, right? So I'm just going to wish you all the best, you know, and I know each and every one of you will go find this. Just shoot for it. On the sidelines, we'll be cheering you on, and
Yeah.
it's to have this conversation now when you will have made like the top 50 and the top 10.
I know. Yes. And thank you so much, Jeremiah, for your time. Thank you for joining us. And my final note, like you said, there will always be room for failure because you failed before. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try again. This time last week, I was in a bad space mentally because I got a rejection email. But that is part of life. You know, you fail, you try again, you keep trying again, you keep trying again until you get that one life-changing yes that just change everything. So the most important thing is to try again. That is what differentiates winners, from successes from failures. If everybody stopped trying at one failure, we'll have no success story. So keep trying, shoot your shot. And for those who do not have full knowledge, maybe you're just hearing about the Global Student Prize for the first time, go to www.globalstudentprize.org. The application closed this Sunday, April 17th. The grand prize is 100,000 US dollars. And aside from the money, your work gets to have international recognition that goes above and beyond. It gives you credibility. It opens more opportunities for you. You get to meet people from all over the world. And if you're in top 10 finalists, you get to attend the award giving ceremony fully funded. I think this is juicy and this is amazing. So shoot your shot at greatness. Go to www.globalstudentprize.org and apply. Once again, my name is Oluwadamilola Akintewe, and this is Jeremiah Thoronka from Sierra Leone, the inaugural winner of the Global Student Prize. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.